Hello everyone. Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Hope everyone had a good start to their week. I had not too bad of a start. We'll go over that real quick. OCEA, one of the top plays from the watch list, just looking for a multi-day bounce. And it was a pretty weak bounce today, but I still think I played it pretty well. So early on, I had a hard time with it. Volume was kind of there, but it was also choppy going back and forth. And could have got a bit of size here as it held, but I hesitated and then I ended up taking it at 1021 for just 100 shares, small starter. If it kept holding up, it would add more to it. If not, I'll just stick to that size and take a small loss. So ended up hesitating again with the ad. It just seemed very choppy, and this move I thought really would get the play started and really get it going, but it got stuffed. So I didn't add here, but then a few moments later, it just starts picking up again. But the whole spike was very exhausting. It was just one moment it's spiking to new highs, next moment it's retreating 5-10 cents above where it started. So um, an exhausting move. So when it got vertical a bit towards the end, started pushing past 11, volume started getting exhausted. I decided to just dump it, take my roughly dollar. I got in at 1021, got out at 1123. So $102 profit. Nothing crazy. Play ended up getting stuffed. That was a good call on my part to dump it. And at first, I was going to stick with it and be super patient, wait for it to get to about 13, which would have been 30% from previous close, which is the average spike according to our data. But I think today was a good lesson on not letting your data make decisions for you and just have it be a guide on how to approach the plays. So here in this case, it didn't take off and get to 25-30% up on the day, but it did offer a little move. And when I recognized the volume was getting exhausted and it showed some topping action, I decided to get rid of it. So um, it's got to be a balance of both. So that was the lesson from OCEA. Besides that, made just about 10%. I think it was like 9.8, 9.9%. So that was it for the day. I didn't really see anything else that was too exciting. There's AMAM, which early on looked like it could have been a really nice multi-day bounce, looking for that momentum shift over 5, but then it gave a quick little move, not even 10%. And then it came back, confirmed that area, but it was such a slow mover, just an exhausting play. So the bounce plays of today didn't really work out that well. There were a couple other movers. AWIN, this was one from the recording this morning, one that I was keeping an eye on, talking about if this fails to break down, this could trigger a short squeeze to test 3. Got just underneath 3. So we have a low float, low market cap play, spiking decently, and was getting to early on in the 240s, 250s, 260s area where there's a bunch of resistance. So I figured shorts would dump it there, as well as you got some profit takers after the morning spike. So I thought this area would be a difficult area for it to break. So I gave it some time, but I ended up seeing it too late. When I came back to peek at the market, it was already in the 270s. But yeah, that's kind of it for the day. I didn't really see anything spectacular. LHDX was the main play. That was an overnight mover. Took off from 14 cents to just about 80 cents pre-market. So we'll be looking for this for the multi-day bounce. Right now, just let it fade. But it was up so much, I wasn't eager to attack this play, and it just died. They didn't really do anything. It was up way too much. Not enough buyers to keep pushing it higher and higher. So sellers came through with that. Trying to see if there's anything else that I might have missed. Like there was some movers, but nothing that really fit my pattern or anything that would have felt comfortable trading. Here you got SIDU. You know, it still had overhead resistance. I would wait for the breakout if anything. So a lot of things were moving, but given this kind of price action, there was another one. BLBX was the other play where it just took off randomly. Not much of an angle here. Get stuff right around resistance in the low ones. On the daily chart here, we'll see that around 107. So just a lot of things moving to the breakout level and just getting stuffed. But yeah, I think I just kept it in mind as I reviewed my week last week, which was the first red week of the year. The way I approached things, I was a bit emotional, trying to do what's been working in January. Right now, it's not the same momentum. So a lot of things are either going to get stuffed or just not work out, maybe a little fake out. Point is, we're not going to have as many plays working out as we saw last month. So, and even early into February, it's really just the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks where things have really been changing. But yeah, so I guess the takeaway is don't let your data make the decisions for you and just let it guide you, as well as don't be emotional and learn from your mistakes. That's what I did so far today from last week, and working out pretty well. Just didn't really have the size I would normally trade on OCEA. Decent little move there, but it is what it is. So let's just get into the top plays for tomorrow. OCEA is actually one of them. So we got a decent push, but ultimately it failed. Went red on the day. In my eyes, you got this solid range here, pretty wide range from around 8 to the high 10s. I'm still thinking this play has a chance at really giving us a monster reversal. This one didn't really have the momentum it needed, the demand needed to push it higher and take off to 12s, 13s, maybe even past that. So we got the failure, but we're still holding up. We broke past day low, which was around 9, and then it only got to the mid 8s. So not much of a breakdown. So if this momentum continues where it has a hard time pushing lower and it starts breaking to new highs, ideally with more demand, really the same thing I'm looking for tomorrow is the same thing as today, but with more demand, this would act a little different. It won't be so choppy, but we're looking for that failure breakdown, that high day break with more demand behind it, essentially. So yeah, all the plays I think here are going to be multi-day bounces. BAER, another one taking off from roughly 4 all the way to the 12s, and now decently off the highs, about 50%, and slowing down with the push lower. So this one, the lows yesterday around 7, we'll call it. Today breaks down barely 10% lower and holds up. So we'll see any bullish indicators, failure to keep breaking down to new lows past 630 on light volume, like selling pressure, and start coming back to new highs after some consolidation, pushing higher, showing the momentum shift, getting shorts scared out of it, locking in their profits, dip buyers come back, we get the fuel needed to push higher, unlike how OCEA acted today, very choppy. Next up, CYRN, another bounce play, same push, and now way off the highs, stabilizing around the 20, 30, 25, 30 area. So another one to keep on watch if volume comes through. And lastly, ATLX, another one that took off from the 7s to 24 area and now back trying to hold around 12, as we can see. Broke down to new lows, but not by much, and held right around the whole dollar, half dollar area after it gave a nice little pop at the end of the day. So This one is showing some bottoming action. They all are actually showing some decent bottoming action. It's just which one will have the demand follow through to trigger the multi-day bounce. So that really will be the main indication we look for, that high day break with some volume behind it. So we'll just let that be. Not bad of a day. We'll just try and continue the momentum for the rest of the week. So have a great one, and we'll catch you all later. Have a good one. Damn.